Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at another new addition to the game, which is this Subaru BRAT. It's available for 80 points overall this season, which means it's possible to have got it after the first 2 weeks like I have. But if you haven't unlocked it yet and you want to, you do still have the rest of winter and spring to get hold of this car if you want it before the playlist finishes. This car then, if it can actually be described as a car, because it's kind of more of a ute, is of course not actually new. It was last seen back in Forza Horizon 3. Now usually I don't bother looking at cars from Horizon 4 for example that are reintroduced, but as this has been absent for longer from the Horizon series, since Horizon 3, I thought I would take a quick look at it. It produces a massive 69 horsepowers from standard with a 1.6 litre boxer engine, but does weigh just 935 kilos, so that lightness does kind of make up for the lack of power. Interestingly, they did it like this with the weird seats in the back, which you'll probably see at some point in this replay footage. There you go. I believe because seats affected tax, it was definitely for tax purposes. It was either because seats inside the car made you have to pay more tax, or because more doors did, so they put them outside. Anyway, somehow by putting them outside, it made it cheaper for tax purposes, which is why they have these weird jump seats on the back. And another interesting thing is what BRAT actually stands for, because otherwise it kind of sounds like a bit of a weird name for a car, or ute, but it actually stands for Bi-Drive Recreational All-Terrain Transporter. Whatever that means. Probably many things. Anyway, the first generation of this Subaru BRAT launched in 1977 and was produced all the way until 1982, with this one in-game being the 1980 model. The second gen then launched in 1981, and the rear seats were then removed from the 1985 model onwards. Sad face, because those are kind of cool, and yeah, I guess maybe it wasn't then required for tax purposes, or for safety reasons, I don't really know. But anyway, they decided to stop doing the seats in the back, and it ended up just as a ute. So, here's a closer look at those jump seats in the rear, because they are truly incredible and one of the most interesting features of this car. They aren't, though, the most interesting feature. That would be the tyre in the engine bay, because of course that's where you keep a spare tyre. I mean, I suppose it makes sense, but it might get a little bit toasty in there. I also love these checky seats and wooden dashboard in the interior. In terms of upgrades, there's not really anything new. It does have some interesting ones though. There are a couple of visual options for the front bumper, for example, like this one with the lights, or bumper delete, as well as Forza Aero, of course, but these were all present in the Horizon 3 version as well, I believe. Same with Forza Aero and obviously the bumper delete. It does have several engine swaps, which I don't know if were available back then. There's a flat 4 turbo, another flat 4 turbo, flat 6, and a flat 4 turbo. So it's basically 3 more flat 4s, and I think that'll be a Porsche flat 6, the 4 litre. Incredible. You've also got your usual rear-wheel drive conversion. It's of course all-wheel drive stock, or four-wheel drive. There is a difference, I just always forget what it is. You can fit a turbo or a centrifugal supercharger. You've of course got all your usual tyre compounds and tyre widths. One thing that will be new is the track widths, because of course that wasn't a feature in Horizon 3, with a huge difference on the rear. Look how much those stick out. Truly incredible. And then this is all clutch, gearbox, driveline. Everything else is kind of exactly as you would expect. So, there we go. Couple of cool front bumpers, but like I say, these are all present in Horizon 3. Unfortunately, there's no advanced painting options, but there is a whole selection of colours to go through, some of which have the iconic BRAT design on it. That one actually looks like the Starsky and Hutch car, kind of. But yeah, that's kind of cool. But it would have been even cooler if, as a paint group, they would have let us paint the livery in whatever colour to go along with the car. It is also available in brown, for reasons, mustard, blue, black, grey with blue livery, which is kind of cool, and white. But I think I'm probably going to go for the BRAT 4x4 livery. That's incredibly cool. I'd forgotten that that was available, and I'm kind of surprised that isn't on it from standard. So it turns out nobody's really made B-class purist tunes for this, which maybe isn't a surprise, but it means today I'm going to risk tuning it myself, which of course means I'm going to first do the incredible front bumper, and I won't do Forza Aero, but I'll probably do... No, I'll leave that on, because we've still technically got a front bumper. So yeah, this can only end well. Wow! It's got a rear roll cage thing. Okay, I missed that when I looked earlier. That's definitely going on. So I'm rather pleased. I've managed to get 220 horsepower out of the engine. I know we've slightly run over into A, but we could always find something to bring that back again. Okay, so basically by shrinking the width of the front tyres slightly, because I had increased them, which probably isn't really necessary at all. I just think they look slightly better. But anyway, we managed to get 220 horsepower, but it is slightly heavier. So then, with those upgrades applied, as per usual, it's time to go into some B-Class Horizon Open with my own purist tune, which may or may not end badly. We're here at Vulcan Sprint, midway through a round of Horizon Open, so there may be one more race after this or not, I don't know. It did take World's longest loading time to get into this, so I don't know who's playing on an Xbox 360. Anyway, we're into the lead. Not a bad start, actually. Oh, goodbye, Courgette. Okay, I think on reflection this isn't great. I'm not sure, there are a few things I could have done better. I mean, potentially it didn't need that much power, and I didn't need to do as much with tyres and things. So maybe I could have kept that much power whilst making it handle better as well. I'm not sure. I mean, we could have taken some weight out of it, but it's already pretty light. So yeah, I don't know. So on one hand, I'm kind of surprised that because it's an older, lighter car, and they're generally quite good. But on the other hand, it is a ute. It's not really designed for road racing, and it does have a tune that I made on it. So yeah, so far, not great. It'll be interesting to see how it does around a circuit, though, rather than a sprint. But 3rd out of 4 people in a race, not great. So then, it wasn't the final race in that Horizon Open. We're now at the final one, which is a circuit race around a Stadio. And we have some more people in the race, so yeah, it could be a better kind of, well, test of the car, because against 4 people is not really enough. I mean, it's still quite an empty lobby, so potentially it doesn't give a complete reflection on this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's any better around a circuit than on a sprint. If the rate... There we go. I was going to say if it ever starts. Somebody's definitely on an Xbox 360 here. All-wheel drive launch is the an advantage of this car. And this being a track I was going to say that I'm quite familiar with and quite good at, but if I say that I'm probably going to put it in a wall, aren't I? The weird thing is, it seems to be lacking on straight line speed. Sorry Audi, but I don't know where you expected me to go there. Which is weird, because I thought 220 horsepower was reasonable, actually. Maybe on street tyres with a bit more power? I don't know. I mean, it's really... What the lag? Thanks for giving me the position, mate. Through goes the Audi. He has to brake there, though. No! Okay, that's a slight flaw with my tune. I think that might be what it is. I think I've just given it too much grip and not enough power. Which, sorry. Which is what I tend to do on Forza. Okay, well that is definitely an issue, the rolling, so I think I know we haven't even finished the second race, but I think I'm going to have to abandon this tune. Right, so by putting it on street tyres, bringing the track width in and making the tyre profile narrower, or the tyre width narrower, I should say, I was then able to go in and get 267 horsepower out of it by putting a massive turbo on it, so it now hopefully has less grip and a bit more power, which may or may not be good. It's somehow heavier, probably because I had to take flywheels and prop shafts and things back a couple of stages just to rebalance it back to B, but let's see if it's any better with a bit more power. So it seems like I just missed the Vulcan sprint again, and I'm now at a Stadio again, but that might be a good way of comparing the two cars. It is the same lobby that I'm essentially in, or the two tunes I should say on the same car. Seems to be the same lobby with similar people as well. I have of course equipped it with a rally livery, because it's a racing truck, so hopefully that will give me many more speeds as well. Yes, come on, much more powerful Brat. It's a good start. It should now not handle as well, which hopefully will mean it's less likely to roll. So far so good. There's more people in here as well, so it's a more representative test, I think. Well, I'm still leading after the end of the first lap, but it was just going to take one small mistake for everything to come barreling past. Barely need to brake at all, actually, with those cones. I don't think a 108 is a good B-class lap time, to be fair, but we are out here winning. I will see if it's as good round another circuit, because like I say, this does seem to favour power slightly, but anyway. First race with my improved tune, and first victory. I don't think it's too bad going, even if it isn't necessarily a fast lapping car or ute, but we've also finished without rolling it. It wasn't the last race either, in that championship, which is good, because, well, otherwise I'd have had to go on to a whole other one just to do, well, 1 or 2 races to see how it performed in a different environment. We're starting way back in 11th this time, but it is a sprint, so it's a completely different test to the previous one. I know the first section of this one will favour the power again, but then once we get into the twisty bits, it will be interesting. So I'm hoping I can get a good launch and get past a load of people here at the beginning, and then it will be interesting to see how many people repass us in the twisty section. Yeah, I'm going to get past everyone, I think, before T1. Except unghosting might happen at some point. Oh, it is fast, but I did tune the gears a bit, so 149 is the top speed. I'm not sure we'd have got much further than that anyway. Whoa, we're being hit from all angles. Well, that was my chance to get past everything, and now, yeah. Just back out of it, let them all have their own problems with checkpoints. Come on, Audi, go faster. Oh, somebody's in a wall and somebody's ghosted and... Well, most of these positions gained have not been down to me or the car. They've been down to other people crashing. Been pushed by a Fiesta. Okay, we're into second place, somehow. Okay, if I can win this from 11th, then I'm going to conclude that this is an excellent B-class vehicle. Or even if I get second, to be fair. Actually, no, because that's a stock NSX in front of me. So it's entirely brilliant in B-class unless you find yourself against a stock NSX, I think is pretty much the conclusion we can draw. And that Forza's checkpoints are broken. I'm counting that as a second place. And that is going to do it for a very first look at the Subaru BRAT here on Forza Horizon 5. Really fun car and really cool to see it return, although it's something I didn't necessarily realise was missing or miss. And there's lots of cars from Horizon 4 I'd maybe prefer, but it is a really cool and different thing, so I am really pleased to see it return. So I would recommend going and getting it if you haven't already. But you probably will anyway, even if you do a little bit of each playlist, winning the first car each week, you will have this by the end of the playlist without too much difficulty, I think. I just wanted to get it as soon as I could, really. Upgraded, it was okay. I mean, the first tune wasn't brilliant, as you saw. Second one was better, definitely. And if I hadn't missed a checkpoint, would have got a first and a second place, although it would have been beaten by a stock NSX. So, yeah, not sure. I'll definitely use it for some more open because I was really enjoying that, but not sure it's going to be competitive. I mean, it is an 80s ute. It's not really a racing car, is it? But yeah, incredibly cool thing. Fun to drive stock, if very slow, and fun to drive in races, but maybe not all that competitive, just very cool. And you'll probably win it even if you're not really trying to in this month's playlist. For now, though, for a very first look at this new addition to the game, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.